Face your fears, live your dreams. Fears are nothing more than a state of mind by Napoleon Hill. Once upon a time, a criminal had done a crime. In any case, he was sentenced to the king's penalty. The king told him that he might choose between two punishments. First, he could be hanging from a rope. Take, for example, what's hidden beyond the large, dark, intimidating, and enigmatic iron door. The criminal made a hasty decision to use the rope. He turned to the king as the rope was being put around his neck and remarked, "By the way, out of curiosity, what is behind that door?" "You know, it's strange. I offer everyone the same choice, and practically everyone chooses the rope." The monarch laughed. "Tell me," the criminal said, "what is there on the other side of the door?" He pointed to the noose around his neck and added, "Obviously, I won't tell anyone." "Freedom," the king said after a short pause. But it appears that most people are so scared of the unknown that they instantly take the rope. Fear of failure, rejection, or feeling insufficient. Fear is a typical stream that flows through all of our lives. If we let it, fear can keep us imprisoned in the prison of the familiar and predictable, preventing us from realizing our full potential. Living a fear creates a double bind. You are unhappy with your current situation, but unwilling to pursue something better. On the other hand, fear can serve a useful purpose in assisting us in breaking through dissatisfaction and achieving the life we genuinely seek. If you let it, anxiety can become a tool for finding fulfillment. Learn how to avoid living in dread, or better yet, how to turn fear into your most significant source of inspiration. Overcoming fear and the psychology behind it. If you don't understand the mechanism of fear, learning how to conquer it can be a scary task. Recognize that fear is a natural evolutionary response before scolding yourself for feeling terrified. Your body and brain are attempting to communicate with you, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. You can permanently overcome fear if you learn to read the signals. What does it mean to be fearful? A physiological fight, flight, or freeze reaction. How the body responds to perceived threats is triggered when confronted with a threat to our mental or physical well being. You would be wide open to danger if you didn't have the fear response. Despite this, our bodies react with fear in many instances where we are not physically threatened in the modern world. Instead, anxiety is caused by a familiar external occurrence such as loud noise, looking over the edge of any high place, or standing in front of a crowd. When you are scared, your heart will race and your respiration will speed. You may have a pit in your stomach, fretfully, dizziness, sweating, or a dry mouth. Your muscles may be more tense or weak. These things happen because your body sends you more adrenaline and blood to your muscles and brain. It's preparing you to fight or flee. Yet, it frequently occurs in situations where neither is necessary. Signs that you are fearful. Would you believe that many people go through life unaware that they are afraid? That's because dread is frequently confused with contentment. We grow accustomed to our lifestyle and believe we are happy and contented. One of our six human needs is a certainty, but it tends to hold us back when we get too comfortable with it. Here are some following indicators that you are living in fear. Perfectionism. The drive to be perfect serves as a mask to keep us from experiencing actual closeness and connection. It's also the lowest standard globally because it's impossible to achieve. Settling. Accepting less than you deserve, on the other hand, is a strong indicator that you are letting your need for certainty rule your life. You are living in dread if you don't have an exceptional, passionate relationship and a job you adore. Procrastination. Putting off your ambitions till tomorrow or when I have more time is a standard delaying method used by afraid persons. It's past time for you to stop creating excuses and pursue your goals. You are numbing yourself. You don't need drugs to enjoy life when you live in a beautiful state. You are open to the world, in control of your emotions, and experience genuine delight every day. How do I overcome my fear? You are not experiencing anxiety when you have persistent fear. You are living in it. Fear becomes a maladaptive lifestyle that affects everything you think, feel, and do. Fear traps you in a never ending loop of failure and frustration. The benefit of dread is that the emotions it evokes are usually so bad that you feel compelled to seek another path. Don't let fear rule your life. There are various methods for overcoming fear, ranging from self-care to exercise to seeking professional treatment. Then, when you decide to face your concerns, you'll be able to develop solutions to help you overcome them and find calm. Don't just face your fear. Embrace Your Fear by Tony Robinson. What is the best way to overcome fear? Finding your center is the first step in learning how to overcome fear. Here are some tried and true strategies for overcoming fear and anxiety and living life to the fullest. Determine what you are afraid of. Learning how to overcome fear is similar to learning how to solve any other problem, in that you must first identify the problem. What exactly are you terrified of? Take a few minutes to sit quietly and observe your thoughts, feelings, and physiological sensations. Make a list of everything that comes to mind and be as descriptive as possible. Next, consider starting a daily mindfulness meditation practice to understand your motivations better. You'll feel empowered to face your anxieties once you have found your center. Acknowledge that fear can work in your favor. Our emotions exist to inform us. Your soul is trying to tell you something when you feel afraid, so pay attention. A subconscious worry likely needs your watch if you are overwhelmed by stress or distracted by a mild but persistent uneasiness. Overcoming fear means leaning into your concern rather than avoiding it. Consider your fear as information rather than a threat to your survival. Anxiety can't ruin your life if you use it to your benefit. Instead, it becomes your ally when you overcome fear, a vital source of advice as you strive to achieve your full potential. Sit in the middle of your fear. There are moments when you should act and times when you should reflect. When you work too quickly to conquer your anxiety, you may do more harm than good by grabbing a drink, indulging in comfort food, or repressing the emotion. Instead, try something fresh the next time you are afraid. Do nothing. Take a few minutes to sit with your fear. Consider that for a moment. What is the root of the problem? What is your story about why you are unable to overcome this fear? This is not to argue that you should not act. Instead, a few moments of reflection can help you overcome fear in a productive, intentional, and successful manner. Create must have objectives. Uninspiring or elusive goals we establish for ourselves frequently hinder the process of conquering fear. Consider the following question: what does the life you want and deserve look like to turn things around? Is it merely a someday, maybe goal, or do you actively pursue it? Is it something you can realistically achieve and commit to? Identifying whether or not you are generating a compelling objective is the first step in conquering fear. Will you be satisfied if you complete this task? On the other hand, will you be lost if you don't achieve this? Examine your aim in further depth. What do you want to happen in the end? Is it a case of economic expansion, more money in the bank? Maybe you desire the financial freedom to travel whenever and wherever you choose. Consider how your life will change if you don't attain this goal, and then compare it to how it will change if you do. When you believe your objective is critical, the fear of not attempting outweighs the fear of failure, and you will be motivated to take action. Identify the excuses. You put things off because you are afraid. I am exhausted. I have got other things to do. In any case, it's a wrong concept. Aren't these justifications all too familiar? You have probably said it to yourself and out loud. Consider that for a moment. Is there any truth to these claims, or are you just making up reasons to avoid failure? Making excuses is a lot easier and less unpleasant than putting it in the hard hours and effort required to achieve your objective. But making excuses and opting out will leave you disappointed. You must take a different proactive approach to learn how to overcome fear. Recognize when you are making excuses and develop a strategy to overcome them. Are you exhausted? Make changes to your schedule to get a better night's sleep. Is there a time constraint? Examine your priorities and see where you can carve out time. Finally, decide not to give in to the small voice telling you no the next time an excuse comes up, because it won't help you improve in the long run. Create a successive environment for yourself. Proximity is the power. It is also the law of attraction, or the concept that you are essentially who you hang out with. Whatever you retain in your head regularly is exactly what you will experience in your life. It's time to review your focus if you have turned your shoulds into musts and identified all of your excuses but still don't know how to overcome fear and put your goals into action. People who are sincerely committed to conquering their fears and attaining their goals surround themselves with like minded others. These are people who will inspire you and drive you to reach your objectives. You must elevate your standards and allow others to hold you accountable to conquer fear. Form a growth attitude. When you are scared, you tend to isolate yourself. What happens if you make a blunder? What if you fail? You begin to believe that you can't make any progress, that you are incapable of doing so. Fear keeps you back. Adopting a development mindset is one of the most effective ways to overcome fear and anxiety. It's not about reaching your objectives and being flawless at all times. Stop striving for perfection since no one is ever flawless. The core of a growth mentality is becoming comfortable with what you don't know and going regardless. You are still much ahead of everyone who isn't trying. No matter how many mistakes you make or slow your development. As you attempt to overcome your fear, you will notice that there will be many ups and downs along the route. However, you will be one step closer to achieving your objectives if you realize the road to success entails growth and change. Get valuable insight from pain. Nobody likes to be in pain. The vast majority of us go to great lengths to avoid it. On the other hand, pain is an excellent teacher. When you accept that your life and efforts to achieve your goals will sometimes be painful, unfortunate events become opportunities for improvement. Pain loses its power and becomes another tool for dealing with worry when you stop perceiving it as a danger to your survival. In life, everyone faces difficulties. It doesn't matter if your setbacks are personal or professional. What matters is what you learn from them and how you use those lessons in the future. Rather than allowing sorrow and fear to govern your actions deliberately, choose to learn from those difficult experiences so that you may take charge of your life. Visualize your goals. You have done the mental work of selecting your life's must-haves and discovering the genuine reasons you are holding yourself back. However, overcoming fear necessitates the daily practice of these habits for them to lead to actual action. Identify your problems but devote your power and energy to solutions. One of these methods is goal visualization. Some of the world's most successful athletes, entertainers, and entrepreneurs utilize it, including Michelle Phelps, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Will Smith, and women's soccer player Carly Lloyd. Goal visualization focuses your attention, and where your attention goes, energy flows. Priming, meditation, and imagery training are all examples of this. What matters is that you picture yourself succeeding and committing to your goal. You'll train your brain to believe that everything is possible, which is a crucial step toward conquering fear. Acknowledge that you will fail. What is the most common apprehension people have about achieving their objectives? They are going to fail. Failure, like suffering, can teach us something. In reality, failure is a better teacher than success most of the time. You will be less terrified of failure if you understand that it's an unavoidable component of success. Failure might present you with significant learning opportunities that will help you develop better methods in the future. Everyone fails at some point. Successful business owners, leaders of the world like artists, scientists, and doctors, to name a few. Unfortunately, our society avoids discussing failure, favoring celebrating accomplishments, giving the mistaken idea to be truly successful. One must never fail. Recognize that everyone on the earth, including those you know and like, has been unable on their way to greatness as a part of overcoming fear. The sooner you recognize that your fear of failure is blocking you from pursuing your goals, the sooner you will be able to embrace the prospect of failure and go forward. What distinguishes you from the rest of the pack is how you handle fear. Unleash the power within will teach you to overcome fear and tap into your inner strength. Daily affirmations to overcome your fears. Through these affirmations, regular practice, you can permanently overcome your fear. I am courageous enough to take risks. I am capable of dealing with whatever comes my way. My failures have strengthened me. I am powerful. My difficulties are opportunities for me to learn and grow. I am capable of accomplishing my goals. My self-confidence is increasing. My powers are unlimited. I have faith in myself. Facing my fears gives me strength. I let go of my anxiety, tension, and stress.